Disney World and Disneyland are facing off in a showdown at high noon. Oh, scratch that. We're doing it right now. Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars.net. It's time for another bi-coastal East versus West Coast showdown, this time in Frontierland. Disneyland versus Magic Kingdom. As always, the results of this showdown come straight from AllEars.net readers and social media followers. Frontierland has a 19th century American frontier theme where saloons, pioneers, and cowboys are the lay of the land. It has a slightly different look on each coast, and our readers and cast members have a lot to say about which land is the best. For the sake of competition, we're breaking down Frontierland into 3 categories: theming, food, and attractions. First up, Disneyland. Frontierland is an original land in Disneyland, and Walt Disney never planned on putting a bunch of attractions there. Instead, he wanted it to be more like the wilderness, with attractions like walking trails, pack mules, stagecoaches, and more. Of course, it doesn't quite look like his vision today. Frontierland is full of interesting details, like the entrance being made of ponderosa pine logs. And if you look closely, you'll even find a building with a sign that honors Fess Parker, who played Davy Crockett in Walt Disney's Davy Crockett miniseries.
So Frontierland is based on the old American frontier, so we are talking things like cowboys, the gold rush, everything like that. That is the vibe that you are going to get from Frontierland in really any of the parks you visit, but Disneyland was the original.
Disneyland has a mix of quick service restaurants and one table service spot, but even the quick service places are delicious and full of history. The Golden Horseshoe Cafe is a saloon-style restaurant that dates back to the opening of Disneyland in 1955, and Walt and Lillian Disney even celebrated their 30th anniversary there. Here you can grab pepper jack chili mac, loaded potato skins, chicken wings, and a triple chocolate chunk cookie sundae. At Stage Door Cafe, you can get some quick chicken tenders, fish and chips, corn dogs, and house-made funnel cake. Another quick service spot, Rancho del Zocalo Restaurante, means Ranch of the Square, because the open area at Frontierland's entrance used to be called El Zocalo, or the Town Square. This restaurant serves Mexican cuisine like tostada salad, red chili enchilada platter, a trio of street tacos, cauliflower tacos, authentic burritos, and cinnamon crisps. And at Riverbell Terrace, you can sit down to lunch or dinner for some southern cooking like mac and cheese or a pulled pork sandwich. You can also get a southern version of tofu, with desserts that also include house-made pudding and monkey bread.
My favorite place to eat in Frontierland is at a little teeny cart outside of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Not only does it sell Topo Chico, the delicious sparkling water, and they have the lime flavor, but most importantly, they have one of Disneyland's finest cuisines, and that is the chimichanga. It is delicious ground beef, beans, and a fried shell. Put the little hot sauce on there. And while you can get a chimichanga other places in Disneyland, this is where you can get the breakfast chimichanga in the mornings, where they also shove eggs and cheese into the delicious fried tortilla. It's literally one of my favorite things to eat in all of Disneyland, and it's found in Frontierland, so the food's delicious there, even when you just go to the little carts.
According to our readers, the average score for all 5 Disneyland attractions is 5.60. There are 3 rides at Disneyland in addition to several attractions. Rides include the opening day attraction Mark Twain Riverboat, the sailing ship Columbia, and the popular Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, as well as Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. Other attractions include the Frontier Shootin' Arcade and Fantasmic, which is performed on the rivers of America. Now, while Splash Mountain is in Frontierland and Magic Kingdom, it's actually in Critter Country in Disneyland, so we are not including it here.
Also, who doesn't love some cowboy vibes? You know what I mean? Like, I love just moseying through Frontierland. And that's the only way you're allowed to walk through Frontierland is by moseying. Because if you're not moseying, then you're not really absorbing the qualities of Frontierland. Moseying.
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad opened in 1979 and has quite the elaborate backstory. The details differ depending on which Disney park you're in, and in Disneyland the story is that after gold was discovered in the late 1800s at the Big Thunder Mountain, Rainbow Ridge became a prosperous mining town. Unfortunately, the Big Thunder Mountain was a sacred Native American spot, and it was cursed due to the desecration of the site. In Disneyland, the curse manifests as an earthquake, and after everyone left the cursed town, the trains in the mine continued to race around the tracks with no operators. Disneyland's version of Big Thunder is supposed to resemble the Bryce Canyon Hoodoos in Utah, with different features like muted colors versus the version of the ride in other parks. Guests board a train that takes around 3 minutes to travel around the track, and Disneyland has the only version of the ride with an outdoor rather than indoor station.
I love the wildest ride in the wilderness. I love the wildest ride in the wilderness, any park, but it's better in Disneyland for 2 reasons. One, the dynamite exploding scene at the end of the ride. Dynamite actually explodes and there's cool effects inside of the cavern. But 2, most importantly, Dynamite Goat exists in Disneyland. As you round one of the corners, there's a goat holding dynamite in his mouth. He's iconic. He's on the waiting page on Disney's website. That's how famous he is.
Caitlin W. said, "Best mountain ever. This is the wildest ride in the wilderness. This ride is fast, exciting, and a complete joy. I laugh every time and always yell at the goat holding the dynamite. This is a staple for every Disneyland trip."
Mark Twain Riverboat is an opening day Disneyland attraction, and this paddle steamer takes guests on a 12-minute trip around the rivers of America. For 50 years, it was actually the first functional built riverboat in the United States. The riverboat travels on a track, and it measures as 150 tons, 28 feet high, and 105 feet long. Guests can board every 25 minutes, and the voyage lets guests check out unique views of the rivers of America.
Reviewer J Nettle F said, "If you have the time to do it and you want to sit and relax, it's a good option. I would not wait a long time to do this though."
The sailing ship Columbia is another Rivers of America attraction, modeled as a replica of Robert Gray's ship, the Columbia Rediviva, which sailed around the world in the 18th century. Like Mark Twain, this ship takes guests on a 12-minute journey around the rivers of America. At night, the Columbia is the pirate ship in Fantasmic.
Frontierland and Disneyland really does feature a lot of boat rides, and there's not a huge amount of difference between them. I don't know if people are going to come for me for saying that, but basically it's just boats that'll go around rivers of America.
The pros. If you want the OG experience, go to Disneyland. Fantasmic is performed right on the rivers of America. There's a variety of food options and restaurants. The cons? There are 2 ships that do pretty much the same thing, and aside from Big Thunder, 12-minute boat rides are not thrilling. Overall, there's not a variety of attractions and activities. Before we move over to the East Coast, head over to AllEars socials on Facebook and Instagram for more Disney World throwdowns, and AllEars.net to leave your reviews for everything Disney parks related. Hotels, restaurants, rides, and more. It's all up to you to change this list right now by leaving your own review. Plus, you get to help your fellow followers have the best vacation ever. Next up, Magic Kingdom. In Magic Kingdom, Frontierland had only 3 attractions at the time of opening, including the Walt Disney World Railroad Station, Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, and Country Bear Jamboree. Unlike Disneyland, Splash Mountain is part of Frontierland, but you can find Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in both versions of this land.
They should have tumbleweeds that they throw, they make a cast member every 20 minutes or so, just go chuck a tumbleweed out in Frontierland, and they could just be like, that would really add to the ambiance, I think.
Quick service is the name of the game in Magic Kingdom's Frontierland, with the Golden Oak Outpost serving chicken breast strips, loaded fries, and cookies. Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe features chicken fajitas, Southwestern salad, bacon cheeseburger, nachos, and mini churros. And Westward Ho serves frozen lemonade, coffee, tea, and corn dog nuggets.
The food in Magic Kingdom Frontierland is fine. It's very similar. You've got Pecos Bill's, which is like your quick service Mexican restaurant, though albeit not as good. And you've got 2 little quick service stands in Magic Kingdom that sell similar things to Golden Horseshoe. You can get like jalapeno poppers and chili cheese fries and things like that. But as always, the Disneyland food's better. Why do you ask me if the Disneyland food's better than Magic Kingdom food? You know the answer.
According to our readers, the average score for all 4 Disney World attractions is 8.21, which is a pretty big jump from the Disneyland ratings. Rides and attractions in Magic Kingdom include Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Country Bear Jamboree, Splash Mountain, Frontierland Shootin' Arcade, and Tom Sawyer Island. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has essentially the same backstory as Disneyland and nearly identical track with some minor changes. In Magic Kingdom, the mining town is called Tumbleweed, and the tragedy to befall the town is not an earthquake, but a flash flood. Also, the ride has an indoor station. The set design also differs as it's based on Monument Valley in Arizona.
Big Thunder is what I consider to be one of the roller coasters at Disney World that is just truly like a little bit of magic, because it's one of those coasters that no matter how many times you go on it, you always end up giggling like a little kid because it's just so much fun. The theming, the twists and turns, and also the difference of sitting in the front and back. You want to be in the back for Big Thunder. That would be my big piece of advice.
Reviewer Michelle, Audrey, and Matt said, while this ride is quite fun, the one in Disneyland is much better. After all, it does have the dynamite and the lift hills.
Country Bear Jamboree. What do you say about that? It's a stage show featuring 18 audio animatronic bears performing country music. This attraction was part of Magic Kingdom's opening day in 1971, and the 10-minute performance involves bears singing, country songs.
Country Bear Jamboree. Okay, here's the thing. I hadn't gone on Country Bear Jamboree since I was a tiny child before I moved down here because it's just not something. A lot of rides in Magic Kingdom. A lot of rides. Country Bear Jamboree takes up, some time, 20 minutes or something. I could be waiting 20 minutes and getting on Haunted Mansion in that time, and I'm only in Magic Kingdom for a day. So Country Bear Jamboree was on the chopping block. However, I live here now. I rode it, watched it. It was delightful. It's so good. It's so cute. The jokes are funny. The music slaps. And I was like alone because I was filming my Frontierland tour and I was like tearing up. I'm dramatic, but I was like tearing up because I was in there and there were all these families just like huge smiles on their face as they watched like Big Al be like, blood on the saddle, blood all around. And I was like, this is what it's about. This says to say your true thoughts about Country Bear Jamboree. Am I supposed to hate it? Because I super don't. It's great.
Daisy is my homegirl said, though this show scares me a bit, I agree that everyone should see it once. The music was not for me, but it's a good piece of Disney history.
Splash Mountain is a flume ride currently themed after Song of the South, a 1946 Disney movie, but Disney announced plans to retheme the ride with a Princess and the Frog design in the near future. This ride has a few small drops that lead you from a traditional outdoor flume feeling to some indoor dark ride elements, and eventually you are led to the big over 50-foot drop finale that the ride is known for.
Splash Mountain or Frontierland or Critter Country for Splash Mountain? I don't care. I don't want to ride it no matter which land it's in. I think it fits better in Frontierland. Critter Country is kind of a made-up land to shove some stuff in that didn't fit, like Splash Mountain. So, I don't really think it matters. It's gonna fit better in Disneyland when it's Princess and the Frog, though, because it will be right next to New Orleans Square. So it'll win once the refurb happens over there for sure. But I do think for now, Magic Kingdom wins.
The pros. Splash Mountain definitely added a major thrill to the land. The Bears are a classic, historical Disney audio animatronic show. There's not just ships, but also more rides and attractions and overall adventure in this Frontierland. The cons? The food is mostly basic quick service theme park food. And about those bears, both a pro and a con because it's a little odd now. We've said this before and are saying it again, bigger isn't always better. Before we reveal the winner, give us a like and click on that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, click on that subscribe button. And when you subscribe, be sure to ding that notification bell so you get an instant notification anytime we post a new video. And if you really want to be part of the fun, be sure to follow us on social media at AllEars.net. Got it? Good. On we go. So when it comes to Frontierland, Disneyland and Disney World both have a lot of the Old West to offer. Like the other lands, Disney World's Frontierland is bigger and has more thrill rides, but Disneyland has a better variety of food. According to our readers and social media followers, the winner of the Frontierland debate is Magic Kingdom. And there it is. The new East is apparently better than the Old West. I don't know. You can start your comment war now. This is Chris for AllEars.net. See you later, pilgrims.